Let me quickly show you how to work on the major writing process assignment. Please read this section on the course site. Click on writing process assignment. Please read this carefully. You can work on any type of assignment, and it's far better if you come talk to me and decide what you really want to work on. It could be anything from a dissertation chapter to a journal article you are publishing, planning to publish, or a graduate school application materials, anything. No matter how much you read, nothing matches the effectiveness of coming to a writing professor and talking to them and figuring out what you want to do and what you would best benefit from. You would learn what I'm good at, and you would learn what you would most benefit from. So please come talk to me. About 5 or 6 students have seen me so far, and I'm not really happy about that. By this time, everybody should have started working on this assignment, because this is not about fulfilling the course requirement. This is about you taking full advantage of a writing course. No matter how much you learn in the modules, the real deal is when you work closely with an instructor and work on your own assignment, because you can implement what you learn in the course modules in the writing process assignment. All right, your skills, your writing needs can be practiced and met within this assignment. So come talk to me. Now, a few things. The first thing is, how do I submit? How do you submit the assignment? Just go in this folder within that writing process assignment area and click on your file. These files are private to you and me. Later on, when I recommend partners within the class based on similar topics or disciplines or whatnot, you guys will have access. Either I will be adding access for that second person, or you will be adding access. You can do whatever you like. For now, this is just a few notes about how to use the Google Doc in order to productively collaborate with the professor and hopefully one peer reviewer in the class. So this is your document, right? Now, here's a few things that I really must emphasize. The first is this. If you scroll down further, there is a few notes about how to use the Google Doc more effectively, but I'll highlight a few things I'll demonstrate a few things. Please read this one. Remember, in an online course, reading something for 5 minutes, unlike in an on-site course you may glance over, reading is critically important. Often you miss what the assignment is all about if you don't take the time to read. Reading is important. You like it or not, that's how an online course works. You'll get used to it. Then I also posted something that is really, really useful if you use it. You don't have to, but I will talk about these two items, okay? First is this. The first is, for using a Google Doc, it may be necessary for you to not only just copy paste, but also convert your the file format, right? For example, if you go here and when you copy and paste whatever you have, let's say you want to copy paste this document, it may not come off, whoops, it may not come off right. What did I do? No, not that. Let me say if I go to an external document, let's say this, and let me go into your file and try to copy this. It may not come off the way you want it, right? It may be all messed up. So what you need to do in this situation is go to your Google Drive, wherever that may be. Okay, let me say I'm going to my Google Drive. Click on New, Upload, and by the way, one thing, make sure that you're under your settings, the Convert Uploaded File to Google Doc Editor format is on, so that when you upload your file, it'll convert it. Okay, let me convert that file, and it will show up here in just 1 second. Peer review rubric, right? This file has been converted properly, so that everything, almost everything, will be preserved. So now you can copy this from a Google Drive, Google Doc format to a Google Doc format, okay? So if you were to go here and copy here, it will work. it will look like, 1 second, it will look like exactly what the file is supposed to look like. Of course, in a few cases, you will not be able to use Google Doc at all, even if you first convert your document into Google format and then copy it over. In those situations, you need to talk to me and say, Dr. Sarma, I have a different format. I'd like to just provide you a hyperlink here. So you might want to say, here is my document, and hyperlink this document by going into linking, right? That's a different matter. But unless you have to do that in rare situations, please allow me to use the convenience of clicking, reading, and giving you feedback, right? Clicking here, reading what you have written, so that I can say, highlight, and I can insert comments, and insert, I usually use Command Shift, Command Option M, but here, right here, Option Command M, and I should be able to say, this is great. Consider, however, you could also, I can write as much as I want, right? I can write as much as I want. This is the convenience of a Google Doc compared to, say, a Word document, a printed document, or even Microsoft Word attached by email. That hassle, that is so 2006. I can edit, I can delete, I can link, or I can just resolve. And when you address this comment, simply resolve. Don't wait for me to do it for you. Well, I will not do it for you. I can also do this. I can go in suggesting mode and type or copy over your draft. If I don't think this is the right word, I might just delete instead of saying this may not be the right word that you want to use here, right? Usually, though, I will be giving you marginal feedback as much as I can, unless you have requested me at the top of the document to look at the editing level. In order to help you to help me to help you best, here's what I've done. I have provided a peer review rubric, a set of rubrics. So if you need feedback on sort of clarity of idea, development of idea, it's a very rough early draft. You might want to pick a question from either this, from this section, right? You might want to pick a question from here and copy those two questions. Copy those two questions over to your file and say, put them here, right? Just put them there. If possible, just highlight them for me. You might also want to say something, something to the effect of, Dr. Sarma, please look, focus on these issues when you provide me feedback, so that your partner and me can focus on these two questions. If you are working on your paper and you have already done the development of your idea, but you are worried about the organization, these set of questions may be either about the introduction, body sections, or conclusion, may be more interesting to you. If you're done drafting and organizing, you may be moving toward improving your source engagement, your citations. So one of these questions, or two or three of these questions, may be more useful for you. If you've done all of that and you are starting to move toward editing, the intersection of revising and editing, you might want to, pick questions about focus and flow. If you've done all of that, it's your drafting process is further, then you might want to have questions to your readers about editing and proofreading. If you guide the reader can give you a lot more, instead of the reader simply saying whatever they find useful. So let us not give feedback. Me as a writing instructor and you as writing partners, peer review partners, giving feedback based on the writer's needs is 10 times more productive. And that is the whole point about the peer review rubric, right? If you know how to use the Google Doc, then that shared understanding of how to use the tool can make it a lot more productive, And if you know what the writer wants, it also makes it further interesting and productive for the readers to get feedback. So that is the sort of the system here. Click on your document, go here. If your document doesn't copy over in a good format, please upload your file in a converted format from here, right? Converted format from here. Once it is converted, you can copy that file. You can copy that text and paste it within your document. For some of you who may be simply typing within your Google Doc, none of that converting, uploading, copying over matters. For those of you who already have a draft in Word document or whatnot, that may be problematic. And for those of you who do not have Word or that you can be, submit as converted Google Doc format, that you may need to talk to me. Once again, let me summarize. Please read this instruction. Come talk to me in order to really benefit from this one-on-one personalized support on a significant assignment, writing process assignment. Please go here to submit your assignments. Submitting doesn't mean sending me emails. It doesn't mean uploading a paper. It means simply continuing to use the same document to take it through the writing process, for the drafting, revision, editing, proofreading, finalizing process. That's why it's called a writing process assignment. For those of you who are taking 1 credit, I recommend that you work on a roughly 5 page with me, 2 credit, roughly 10 pages, 3 credit, roughly 15 pages. I say that not to restrict you, either in terms of too little text or too much text, but to try to manage my time on my side. If you have more or less, try to talk to me and I will approve. The reason I want you guys to look up a little bit of this Google Docs guidelines is because you want to be productive when you give comments or expect comments from others. And the peer review rubric may be further helpful for you. If this is up to you, it's optional if you copy and paste or modify and provide questions or requests to your readers, both your instructor and your peer partner, classmate. I hope you understood how this thing works. Use track changes. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say just one thing, I think. If you want to give feedback, you need to insert a comment, right? Like this, on the margin. But if you want to directly change, I hope I showed you quickly, go to suggesting mode. And then you can say, readers, you can just, instead of saying, oh, you don't need this S, you can just delete it so that they can either accept it or they can say, no, I actually mean to say readers, right? In this case, after they address the comment, the writer can resolve the comment. That's how it works. And also one quick thing, when I'm looking at this document, I'm able to go to the last version and compare what changes were made. This is not for surveillance. This is not to judge you. This is for me to see how much, what kind of changes you made so that I might see what else you need and so on and so forth. All right? Thank you very much. If you have any questions about the writing process assignment, let me know. I want you to see me as soon as possible by by the end of the 3rd week of February. If you do not have a plan for your writing process assignment, you may be simply doing this to complete the requirement rather than benefiting tremendously from this writing class. Your modules are your modules, but the second part of your completing this Writing 6121 is to complete your own major, significant, interesting, whatever writing assignment. Thank you for watching. Any questions? Let me know.